Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Sussexsquad podcast for all things Duke and Duchess of Sussex in Morocco. I am Tina.
And I'm Michelle.
Welcome, guys. Hey, guys. Please be sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean. I just found out that we are on Podbean, so don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on there, and also don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We've been seeing those ratings and review come in, and oh my God, they're amazing. Thank you so much. We are indebted to every single one of you who take the time to go on iTunes and hit us 5-star, and also kindly leave us a review. It makes such a difference. It makes a difference. Anyway. Michelle.
So first, thank you. We would like to thank actually our two guest hosts, Mary and Nikki. We appreciate you guys coming and sharing with us. And today we will be discussing the Duke and Duchess Day 3 in Morocco, which with a visit into the Royal Federation of Equestrian Sports. From there, the Duke and Duchess visited Villa des Ambassadeurs in Rabat for a cooking demonstration. For the final public event, the Duke and Duchess met young entrepreneurs supporting youth empowerment at an arts and crafts market in the Andalusian Gardens in Rabat. And finally, Harry and Meghan met the king this evening and also other members of the Moroccan Royal Family.
Okay, so we're going to jump into the first engagement. It was actually pretty cool because I was so tired. So I woke up I woke up at 4:00 and they had already started, or they had just finished that engagement when I woke up.
Is it like 4 a.m.?
4 a.m. my time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I had just woken up, and because I usually I told you this already. I usually wake up at 3 a.m. every day. But I was so tired. So I slept an hour later and I woke up at 4. Anyway, they had already started, and they were at the Equestrian Sports Center, where they they do programs to help support children with special needs, and they met all the representatives from the health organization. I think there was a lot of kids who are autistic, and they met the center's founder, Louis Broski, and he actually said that it was a challenge that he started. He kind of explained how he started the whole thing. He said he started with one child, but now 16 years later they have 100 children, and his aim is for all disabled children to be fully integrated to Moroccan society. And the Duchess responded saying, that's just so important, and this is such a gorgeous space that you have here. Harry and Meghan, they viewed the writing demonstration, which I actually saw videos of it, and it was pretty cool. Those kids, they seemed like they were really well adjusted, which is actually pretty cool. And so they were able to watch a writing demonstration. They discussed caring for the horses with the teachers and the children, and also they were able to see a grooming session, and there was a Shetland pony who was shaking, and so Harry was like, anyone got carrots? Because I guess she's really nervous, and basically Meghan said, we all get camera shy. I totally understand. And I thought it was so cute. They're trying to pep up the little pony to be more not so camera shy. I'm sure there's did you know there was over 100 camera people and reporters with them on this trip?
Yeah. I read the tweet. I read a tweet of a reporter who was there. And which is funny because, we keep hearing that because, they're the Harry is sixth to the throne and Meghan is his wife, that they're irrelevant. But what do I know,
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because I was isn't the Prince of Wales in Cuba right now?
Yeah, I think he is, I think he is. And this is 3 days in Morocco? and
Yeah,
everybody was there. And
I
what
mean,
is this rumor about? I mean, I'm going to like talk about something completely different. What is this? There is a rumor that there might be a North American tour. Is that true? Like,
with Harry and Meghan.
yeah.
Well, that's been a rumor for a while now. Apparently, it was going to happen um, this year, but
Okay.
obviously, like in the spring. But obviously, she's pregnant, so that
Yeah.
can not occur. So they're thinking that maybe it will happen later in this year or early next year. So that's supposed to be it. It's just I don't know how true that is,
Yeah.
but it's come up multiple times, but I don't know. I never believe anything until they announce
Until
it.
it's announced. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, it would make sense to have a North American tour because Canada is a huge, huge, huge Commonwealth. Is I think it's the largest Commonwealth nation. Else, like so,
Yeah.
it makes sense to go do a North American tour, especially also because the Duchess lived there and the
Yeah.
Duchess is from the United States, so it makes sense to do a North American tour. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe that will be baby Sussex's first trip or tour.
Do you think I'm trying to remember if um the Duke of York, if he had a tour with his daughters, like did he ever take his daughters on tour when they were kids, when they were like toddlers and stuff like that? I'm
I
trying to.
don't I don't know, and I never paid attention,
Yeah. So,
so I don't know.
so I don't know if there's going to. I want to say I don't know if there's going to be if baby Sussex will ever go on tour with his parents. Like I understand if they do. I'm just trying to figure out if they will ever, like if Harry and Meghan would be okay with it. Unless it's like, they're away for, I mean, when you look at the one in the tour in Australia and in Tonga and Fiji and New Zealand, like they were away for a while. So I would understand if it's like a 2 week tour or something like that. I would understand they take the kids with them, a little bit like when William and Kate went to Canada and then they took George and Charlotte there with it because the tour was like more than a week. And I understand that you don't want to be away from your kid for that long. So I can understand that. But it's like, if it's like a short tour, I wouldn't put that kid under the spotlight just for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I don't,
mean, even if like I don't think that they will do a North American tour that would just be 3 days. I think it would be at least a week or more.
yeah.
And it makes sense for both Harry and Meghan to bring their child because Meghan is from North America.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
No,
it
no,
just makes
I understand if like why they would bring the kid there if if they do a tour that is pretty long. It's just I don't know. I just don't want that kid to be exposed like that. Like I'm really protective of that kid. It's not even born yet, but
yeah.
I really because I think uh I don't think they're going to be nice to this kid. I'm
Oh,
really
I don't think so either. That's why, like
and by that I mean the press.
I
I
know.
don't
Yeah.
mean the people. I don't mean the royal family. I'm really talking about the press. The
Yeah.
fact that that kid is already being called like
Called a
rebel
rebel.
child and all that stuff. Like it's not even born.
One,
The
yeah,
born
yeah.
yeah. It's like in the attacks start in utero basically. And so for me to have that kid already being put on spotlight, I don't know if Harry would be okay with it. Like I honestly, when you think about how the Cambridge kids are, I understand, they kind of bring them sometimes and then they keep them away from the press for a while. I understand that if Harry and Meghan were like, no, like I would understand. But
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
Yes.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's go back to the Moroccan tour. Look at
Yeah.
your segue we did like crazy.
No, but that's fine. I mean, we're having a conversation, and I think that this is something. Actually, I just looked at our Twitter, and people were mentioning because Ambassador Thomas Riley, he's so fun. People were saying, "Oh, I can't wait for them to grace Vancouver." Some other person said, "I can't wait for them to come on their North American tour." So, like, your question as you were asking it is actually relevant because I'm looking at our Twitter and
Yeah.
responses is that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
So you're relevant. It's a relevant question. So anyway, the second engagement, they went to, do you want to start this one?
Yeah. So the second village was, is it Villa des Ambassadeurs? Like, how do you pronounce that? Ambassadors?
Mm-hmm. You know, I can't pronounce French stuff.
Okay. But I think it's actually an English word, because in French we say des ambassadeurs. So Villa des
Okay.
Ambassadeurs in Rabat for
Mm-hmm.
a cooking demonstration. The couple were joined by the renowned chef Dar Moha. Harry was already familiar with his work as he visited his restaurant in Marrakesh before the royal wedding. I actually didn't remember until someone mentioned it, that he was in Morocco in 2017. And so I completely forgot about it until I actually remembered. So, oh my God, it's true. And so, yeah, it was actually nice that I love how Harry, you know, he's well traveled. He's amazing. The couple saw how traditional Moroccan cuisine is, super young people teaching children from underprivileged background as a new skill. Meghan obviously is passionate about food. We know this. She's passionate about food, bringing people and communities together. During the launch of Grenfell cookbook together, she said, "This is more than a cookbook. And what I mean by that is the power of food is more than just the meal itself. It's the story behind it." And you can definitely, like, she is, if you look at the TIG, you know, she talked a lot about it, how, you know, food was, she loves cooking. She doesn't like going out on stuff. It's more about cooking together, basically. I love that kind of
Yeah.
mentality and thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and it made sense because they also made one of the recipes from together. It was the pancakes
Yeah.
with the honey and the almond butter
Yeah.
by, what's her name, Shireen Mala.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, did you see when Harry sampled one of the pancakes and Meghan was like, "That's a big bite," and Harry responded, "Well, it's a bit late now." You know, it's so funny because like, um, Harry would start eating something, and then Meghan would start eating, and then he would take Meghan's food.
I
I
love
just
how,
thought it was cute.
yeah, I love how they share food. I love that. You
Yeah.
can definitely, you can see that it's no act, you know, there's no act, you know, they're just natural, and they just like behave like the same. It's amazing, really. I love their interaction. You can see it's natural. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun. So when I saw the video of Harry sharing food with her, I sent it to my husband because my husband hates sharing food with me. And I was like, "Look, Harry shares food with Meghan. You should start sharing food."
I hate sharing food. I don't share. I don't like to share.
My husband hates.
Oh no! Oh my God! I'm really, really picky in terms of food. I'm not actually, I'm not like Harry Meghan. Like, I love Moroccan food. It's like very similar from food from where I'm from. So you know, that's okay. But I'm extremely complicated in terms of food. And so when I order something, when I make something, I always hate when people come and take, because I eat so few things. So don't come and take my food, okay? Don't come and steal. Oh my God, no.
You sound like my husband. I don't steal. I'm just like, "Hey, can I have a bite?" And it's like, "No, you have your own food." Like,
yes, exactly.
but I sent them the video. I said, look at Prince Harry. He's sharing with Meghan. He's like, "Yeah, then just get your own food and this will not be a problem." It was cute. They're so cute. And like, Meghan and Harry was eating everything. I was just like, "Hey, we need to check Harry's pockets, make sure he doesn't have food." Remember from the Together where he had samosas in the back of his hand and he was trying to hide it.
What was it? Was it like some samosa? Samosa? Oh my God! That, by the way, you know, I would definitely steal samosa if I saw samosa somewhere. I would. Like, that's so good. Like, I understand Harry here. I understand completely.
He was acting like he wasn't fed at home. I'm like, she said she feeds you. So,
No,
so
but no. Samosa is too good for to not be taken. Like he's so is like, I can't leave this like here. You know, I have to take some. I understand that. Even if I wasn't hungry, I would
Mhm.
take some just for later.
Yeah. So
That good.
anyway, yeah, so this engagement, it was really to support people who have who come from a disadvantaged background, obviously, and like we said, they are learning a new skill. And some they so let's see, we should continue. So then the chef did say he kind of they exchanged cookbook. In the cookbook,
Yeah.
Megan gave him a cookbook and she wrote in there, chef, I can't pronounce his name, can you pronounce it?
I
Chef
think it's
Mo
like mohar.
Moha, yeah, wishing you
Yeah.
continued success. Congratulations on your incredible work, engaging the community in cooking, and all the best, Megan. I thought that was so cute. Did you? Her handwriting is just perfect. So,
You know, I love her like, gosh, you know, I would love to have the same handwriting. Do you
mhm.
think we're going to have like experts or going to analyze her handwriting here? I mean,
Oh,
just
they already, yeah. The other that magazine already probably have somebody, analyzing her.
this.
Let me get the headline. Handwriting experts say Megan is um
Wait,
being
is it like for real?
no, I'm just making this up as I go. That's what they do. I mean, I'm trying to make up a headline. Like I'm trying to think of a.
No. I don't think they will do. Look, I don't think they will do it here because obviously,
Mhm,
you know, like because it's there is no problem here. They're not going to analyze. I mean, we've
mhm,
known she has a good handwriting like for many years. We knew
mhm,
like she learned it when she was going to Catholic school, and we've seen it. Like back
mhm,
in Christmas, she was to remember to that like I think
mhm,
when we to the engagement where she went to that nursing home in that retired home with people from the entertainment industry in the UK
mhm,
who retired. She
mhm,
participated in this activity where she actually wrote a card and basically told people Happy Christmas and that stuff.
mhm.
There was a card. They never analyzed it. They never analyzed that
They
card.
just said how great her handwriting is, and
Yeah, and
they've known.
yeah, they didn't care, like because they didn't care. But when she wrote that obviously letter to her father, and because like it was a proof that Megan is actually in the right and he was in the wrong, then suddenly they decided to analyze that
Mhm,
handwriting because she was actually in the right here, and they
mhm.
needed to still portray her as the evil person, as the mean one, as the one who is in the
Exactly.
wrong. So we've known her handwriting was great for years. Okay, so this is not the first time. Oh
Yeah,
gosh, I'm
yeah,
just getting stuff remembering this shit.
yeah, yeah. I get upset. So let's just move on. I mean, this was a great engagement, and she gave him a book, and all the kids there were happy. Um, I mean, so many people are so touched by both of them coming, and that the amount of care that they take to be involved, even if it's just a minute or two that they meet somebody, they try to make that person the only person in the room at that time. And it's a testament to who they are, and helping people from a disadvantaged background, helping
Yeah.
people who have mild or moderate developmental disabilities, to just kind of show them that their matter is important. And so them going there and doing all the work with the girls school yesterday, which is what we saw, like the girls in education stuff, and also sports, using sports to kind of get people involved in society. That's
Mm-hmm.
important stuff. That's something really important. And in this today, they really wanted to focus on kids who have developmental disabilities, or kids and people who have developmental disabilities, and obviously entrepreneurs. So they're doing important stuff. And the fact that they give everyone their time, no matter how little it is, and even that little bit of time, they focus on that person. Everyone that's met them on this trip have said how touched they are, that they make the effort to connect with people. And that's important. And that's why these types of things are needed. That's why they're going on this trip. I know that there's people who've been writing their so-called articles saying that they don't understand why this trip is going on, blah, blah, blah. One thing that people don't understand is that Brexit is going to happen, whether people believe it or not. It's going to happen. And the UK needs allies, and they need trading, and they need all kinds of stuff from other countries. And Morocco is a gateway to Africa. It is one of the very few stable countries in that continent, even though stable could be relative. But Morocco is a giant, and it's a powerhouse in Africa. And having that gateway and that relationship is important. So this visit is so important. It might look like nonsense to some people who want to do nothing but hate, but this is going to work in the long run in the favor of the UK, who have now decided to go it alone in Europe. So, I just wanted to put out that because I've seen the thesis statements by multiple people about why is this trip important? Why is this just seems like a weird trip, blah, blah, blah.
I don't like, I've heard people saying that this trip is last minute. Like, where the fuck would you hear this? Like, where? I don't even understand this. I've heard this quite a lot from people. Just because you didn't know and you actually knew about it maybe 2 or 3 weeks before it was announced, why do you think that it was last minute? People knew about it, and it's something that, tours are prepared for months prior. The fact that you only knew it just like maybe a couple of weeks before doesn't mean that it was last minute. You don't organize something last minute. Are they insane?
Yeah. And even if it was last minute, it doesn't matter. Here is the thing. This trip occurred. It is highly successful. I find it insulting to the people of Morocco, the country of Morocco, the ambassador, Harry and Meghan, the people of the United Kingdom, when somebody writes an article saying how unimportant this trip is, because they don't understand the purpose of it. I don't understand the purpose of the Prince of Wales going to Cuba. I don't understand the purpose of the Duke of Cambridge going to Israel and Palestine. Like, I don't understand that. So this doesn't make any sense to say that and write a whole article and then be indignant when people are telling you that this is insulting to a whole country of people and an ambassador and their staff, that they've put together this trip, and the people who they've met and the people whose lives they've touched. So I don't want to go on a high horse because, it might look like I'm being preachy here, but people really, really need to take a step back and just think about the things that they say, whether on Twitter, whether they're writing their articles and whatever, and step back and understand that when you make these types of comments, you're insulting not only the people that you don't like, which is Harry and Meghan, or really Meghan, you're now insulting a whole country, a whole royal family, an ambassador and his staff. It just doesn't make it.
Yeah, just because they don't like Harry and Meghan, they are willing to criticize a whole country. Insane. I'm not even surprised because most of the time, Westerners tend to look down upon African countries. They don't even know it's a country sometimes. They actually, they like to consider Africa like a country instead of a continent. Yeah, we know this. Yeah. So for someone who live in a Western country to come and be very condescending towards a whole continent or an African country, I'm not even surprised by it. Let's just put it this way. I'm not surprised. It's something that we heard quite a lot. Yeah. So
because it was just so funny because one of the excuses was like, well, there were only 4 engagements a day. I'm like, well, how? Like they were on back-to-back schedule. I'm like, the woman is almost 8 months pregnant.
It's not even the fact that she's pregnant. When you look at each royals who have a tour, this is the amount of engagement they have per day. Like this is. I don't think Meghan and Harry had like 10 engagements per day when they were in Australia or like when like down under. I don't think they had. They're like probably like 3 or 4 per day. It's just that it lasted longer. Here was like a couple of days, but that was it. It's average. The average number is like 3 to 4 engagements per day. So it's actually normal. So I don't know what that person was talking about. I didn't even read what people are saying. I'm just like the fact that it actually went great. People were
It's
great.
yeah.
Harry and Meghan actually did great. And it ended well. You had a final, the reception with the royal family, which was the
No,
last
no,
engagement.
we need
So, yeah,
no,
that
we
was
need to
it.
talk about the other one. They had their final public engagement. They had another one at the Gardens.
Yeah, and the Andalusian Gardens.
That was a
Yeah,
pretty cool one because Megan actually changed, and they had a music performance upon their arrival,
yeah.
and also they were able to view arts and craft, and the Duchess was given a necklace, right? And so, you know how Harry is always the ever dutiful husband, so this man is putting a necklace on the Duchess's, over her neck, and Harry is like, he like helped to assist her and like pull her hair out so it doesn't get caught. I was just like, oh, I was swooning. He's so dutiful. He's like always there for his wife.
It's
A
not
lot of
first time. It's not first time.
No, it's not. He's done that multiple times, but I was
Yeah.
just thought it was cute, because he's always very attentive to her, and he's definitely husband goals. And I sent my husband a picture that I was like, yeah. Well, he's like, no one. It's not like anyone gives you gifts and your hair is cut. It's not like anyone puts like necklaces on you and your hair is caught, and I'm just gonna let you flail by yourself. I'm like, well, it's the thought that counts. My husband's just like, oh my God, what is wrong with you?
My God.
Yeah, and they were given a lot of presents. Like,
Yeah. I
yeah,
saw.
like they met this guy who had met Prince Charles back in the day, like when Prince Charles came to Fez.
Yeah.
So he had they met him. He's like a silver craftsman, and he showed a photo of Prince Charles and to Harry and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's yeah.
People always do that. They always show Harry, this is the last member of our family. I took a picture, and they always show him like there's so many pictures with his mom or with his
Yeah.
grandmother or that. So people always
Yeah.
do that on engagements, which is nice.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was in Australia when the lady showed a picture. I think they waited for his mom and dad and Prince William on the trip, and
Yeah.
she had pictures. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. All right, so they had a final engagement. So that was their last technically public engagement.
Yeah.
And then hours later, they had it was technically not it was a private meeting with King Mohammed the sixth. They had a private meeting with him with all of obviously other members of the Moroccan royal family. So his sisters were there, his son was there, and Meghan looked amazing. She was speaking French with the king, and everyone was taken by her. She was basically like all eyes were on her.
Yeah.
What did you think, Michelle?
Like, well, obviously people can sense with my accent that actually I'm a French speaker, so French is actually my mother tongue. So I was actually looking at the way that I was. I always look at how royals speak different languages because I speak actually many languages. So I was looking at it, and she has actually a very good accent, very
Mm-hmm.
good, yeah. And it's always nice to see, like, for me it's actually a requirement that you should speak more than one language as a royal. That's
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand how the young royals don't. I'm always astonished by that. So to see her actually be able to speak Spanish and French,
Mm-hmm.
the girl's great. Yeah, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the queen speaks French.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's really the young royals. It's not even because I think Prince Charles as well speak French, if I'm not mistaken. I think he does.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I think he does, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and so I think it's really young royals who are just like English and that's it. If you look at the other royal families, they do. They speak fluently English, which is not their first language. So to have the British royals not be able to speak any other language than English. It's yeah, I think especially when you think about the fact that the British royal family is the head of I mean, the Queen is the head of the Commonwealth from
Mm-hmm.
various countries, various languages. To not be
Mm-hmm.
able to speak any other language, it's I think it's not a really good look. But
Yeah, because
that's my opinion. Yeah.
So Meghan, I guess she was able to, carry on French
Yeah.
fluently.
Yeah.
Maybe not fluently, but like she was able to carry on conversations. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
she
cool.
can do it. She can do it in Spanish. I think her French is less, like, how can I say it, less good than her
The
Spanish,
Spanish.
and
Mm-hmm.
in English, obviously. But
Mm-hmm.
no, her pronunciation I thought was actually good. She makes a couple of mistakes. We know
Mm-hmm.
this because French français is really, really, really hard to learn. I'm so glad I'm French speaker because it's actually really tough to learn French. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many exceptions and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of have to just force yourself and get on with it. And you can sense that she actually studied and learned. Like you can sense that she does a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's always amazing to see that fruition in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see how, like, whenever they shook somebody's hands, they touched their chest? Because that's like part of the culture.
Yeah. But this is what happens when you read your briefing notes. Obviously not every member, every young royal do that, apparently. But this is, I mean, I'm not even surprised that we shouldn't be surprised that they do that. It should be the standard. This is the least you can do. When you go on tour, you read your briefing notes and then you go and do the tour. It's you can you imagine going somewhere you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing? Can you imagine this craziness? This is how professional people are. I'm not even surprised. This is how it should be. You read your stuff and then you go do the work. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane.
No, that's
It's crazy that we have to point that out because not everybody do that.
yeah. Yeah, not everyone does, because I
Yeah,
mean,
it's crazy.
I'm always shocked whenever a royal takes that time to, like, acknowledge people's, not only their culture, and also, and it comes so effortlessly. I'm always cool. I love it whenever the royals do that. Like you said, it should come natural. Like it should not be a surprise to us.
Yeah, you have to. The same way, when you have different people who come into the UK and kind of adjust to the culture in the UK, you have
Mm-hmm.
to do the same thing, when you go
Mm-hmm.
to different countries as well. You have to respect the culture, you have to respect the traditions there. And it shouldn't even, it shouldn't be even surprise. This is how it should be.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to so they met with the king. They handed letters from Her Majesty the Queen to the king, and they chatted and talked. And I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything, so I'm just going to check. Had a private meeting. The Duchess was wearing a beautiful Carolina Herrera gown. Me and the fashion. That dress was divine. Everything she's worn this whole tour and beyond has been.
My favorite was that Dior
Mm-hmm.
dress that she wore yesterday. That
Mm-hmm.
was read to the reception at the British ambassador
Mm-hmm.
residence. That was
It was.
actually, yeah, that was such a great dress. I mean, yeah, um,
Yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah,
Yeah, when I
I'm not into fashion, so when I'm talking about fashion, it means that it's actually something that I actually loved. Yeah.
yeah, and I try not to like make it about her what she's wearing, because actually Meghan has done a really good job. She's done amazingly well. Like, some of the reporters were complaining because she refuses to tell them, like, during the day, like whenever they go do their meetups and everything, to like
Yeah.
yesterday when they went to see the boarding school, and today she didn't tell them what she was wearing, because she didn't want the focus to be on what she was wearing. She wanted it to be on the
On the visit that she was
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which this is something that I've always complained, as I've said, because I'm not into fashion. I
Mm-hmm.
always hated when the headline of any article would be, this Duchess is wearing this, she stands it. And I'm like, who cares about what they're wearing? Stop making the royal women to, start only focusing on their clothes, and can you actually focus on what they're doing and where they're visiting? They always like to just point out what they wear, and as if wearing great stuff is enough. This is really what you should be about, and I hated that, and I really, really dislike it. And so for me, to have, when Meghan goes, and she obviously, when she has a reception and all that stuff, she has to wear a gown and all that stuff, and I understand that people want to focus on that, okay. But when they're outside, and she's just like, I'm gonna wear like a little jeans and boots and just a jacket, and that's it. I'm just here to work and to visit, and just put a spotlight on the place that they're visiting. This is how it should be, personally, for me. Who cares about what they wear? I hate when they don't reduce women to the clothes. Yeah.
Well, I'm about to say something. I just hit my microphone. I'm sorry, guys. I did like the earrings that she wore the second time, like when she went to the gardens. So those big earrings were so pretty. I was like, oh my God, she looks so, I just love her face, like now that, she's at that late stage of her pregnancy. So her face is getting a little bit more chubby, but she looks divine. Like she looks like so young. And I was just, I don't know. I thought that earring like really framed her face, and it looks beautiful. Everything she wears looks amazing. So, yeah.
I like the fact that most of the time, she isn't into huge jewelry. Like she likes small ones, even in terms of rings. Like she's not, aside from that engagement ring, obviously, all the rest is like very fine and small earrings, small rings, and small bracelet. I love the fact that, because this is really what I like. I'm not into huge crazy stuff, I just like small ones, and so we can have the same taste in terms of jewelry. So yeah, this is, so to see that huge, it's not even hoops, like how do you call it, like it's like, but it's still gorgeous. I liked it. I actually liked it.
Yeah, she's, the Duchess. I don't want to be a psychopath, but at the same time, there's a reason this podcast is to highlight her and the things that she does. And there's a reason why we really stand as Duchess, because she's just, she is what I see women to be, across the board. And she exemplifies it. She takes on an issue, and then she's passionate about it, and she just goes about it the perfect way. So anyway, I don't want to keep, being all crazy about Meghan, and my standness is going to come out. And so she had on the Carolina Herrera gown, and they're going to be staying one more night. So they were supposed to leave tonight, but they're not leaving till tomorrow night, apparently. So
okay.
Yeah. Guess who's on the plane with them tomorrow?
Who?
The one that went around blocking everybody. The fanfic writer. I wonder if she booked her flight so she can be on the plane, because remember she did one time when they were in Australia, they were on the same plane, and she was trying to text Meghan from the in-flight messaging, like because she knew what seat Meghan was sitting in, and she was trying to message Meghan from her seat. And then she was surprised that obviously there was no response. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why would you even tell us this? It's so silly. But
have you seen, like, there is a huge pushback in terms of Meghan being criticized on social media, like everywhere. It's crazy, really, how everybody keep calling everybody out, because people can see it. People can see how, like, even on French Twitter, people keep defending her every single time, because they keep criticizing her for crazy stuff. So obviously she was at an engagement this week, and she was wearing flats. So I'm trying to remember which engagement it was where she was wearing. Remember, she was wearing, I think it was first day, no?
The first day, no.
No, the second day.
Second day, she
Yeah.
wore flats. She wore the birdies. Yeah.
Yeah. She was wearing flats, and it's like, is Meghan breaking protocol by wearing
Oh
flats?
my gosh,
I
she's
mean, Jesus
7 months pregnant.
Christ. People, I mean, seriously. And people are like, what the F is wrong with you? She's pregnant. And so, like, someone French Twitter wrote that Meghan, basically made a parody of a headline saying, but Meghan is wearing like a hospital gown when she was giving birth. Is this like is she breaking royal protocol? And so people are really, really sick of this shit.
Yeah, I would be too. I mean, we're tired. We're tired of this shit. Like, stop the nonsense. I don't understand why the British media or the British press, the royal press especially, don't understand that people have now turned against them because of their relentless abuse. And like, they need to dial it back, take a step back, reevaluate, and realize that what they're doing is now people distrust them because, first of all, we have multiple fanfic writers who just write what the fuck they want to write. And then two, we have people just lie like Palm Olive and Jabba the Hutt. And you got to listen to yesterday's podcast. You might be mad at me when you listen to it because that says something really mean about Jabba the Hutt.
You know what? He deserves it. He deserves every shit that he gets. He deserves everything. I swear,
I
like,
saw
I have no. I mean, this is the man who basically said she doesn't have five.
any
She
friends.
didn't have. No, she didn't have 5 friends at the wedding, and I still remember. I think it was. I don't remember which. Was it the podcast or another podcast, whatever? So basically, they were talking that Meghan only had her mother and the Suits cast as her friend in at the wedding,
Which
and
was a lie.
which is obviously a lie because not only the Suit cast was sitting in the is it in the nave? Like they were in the back. They were
They were
uh,
in the back
okay.
part. In the nave, the
Yeah.
only the only suit cast that was there
Was
was
Abigail.
Abigail. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody was in the choir, in the first, those people you had literally around her mother, you had her friends around her. So you had obviously Doria in front of her,
Mm-hmm.
you had Jessica Mulroney, next
Yeah,
to her you
Benita
had Benita, and then behind her you had Genevieve, who is the person
and
who
Lindsay. Yeah.
organized the baby shower with Serena. So please, okay, we know you guys are full of shit. And I mean, I can even I just need to use Google, and I know this. So stop pretending you're experts, please. Okay, I really don't understand why these people are being interviewed every single time. They are caught in their lies every single time. Enough. Okay,
Yeah.
enough. We can actually go and research. It's over the time where they would go and just say something, and that would be the only narrative that was out there, because there wasn't any pushback. Back in the 90s, there were no social media. There was, everything would
Mm-hmm.
be, everybody would take their word and believe everything they would say, and that was
Mm-hmm.
it. Now, obviously, when you have a woman who basically come on TV and say Meghan is breaking royal protocol, she should respect the queen because she's wearing a one-shoulder dress, and then the next you can go and Google and find the queen's literally wearing some dresses like that, and you have like other members as well.
Mm-hmm.
People go, what kind of expert are you? Like, what is this? So
Mm-hmm.
please, okay. So this is really, for me, the big issue. And for people who are willing to downplay this and pretend that this is what happens with any other member who joined the family, this is just normal. I actually despise those people even more. This, for me, the ones who are keep normalizing this are the ones that I really, really despise even more. I can understand the ones who are completely, very nefarious and keep spreading lies. At least I know their agenda. But the ones who are pretending this is normal and this is how it is and that's it, what, that they actually have the same mindset and thinking than the ones who are very negative, but they're just trying to pretend they're not. They're like, this is just, I mean, for this is really a bad look on royal watchers and royal
Yeah.
reporters and, people who basically watch, are into the royal family, basically. It's actually a really, really bad look.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm over them. I'm just like, like I'm done. Like I just at first, like my whole thing, and I think you and we talked a long time. We kind of strategized how we wanted to do this podcast, and we wanted it to be positive, and we just wanted to focus on the Duchess's work. And we were going to try not to feed the madness, right? But
Yeah.
then it's hard not to call out the madness, because like it's hard not to. And it's almost like every day we get on this podcast, we have to call out some shenanigans or the other.
I know.
And
It's yeah, there's obviously shenanigans, but for me, I would tell you, it's the ones who play fair and try to this is okay, it's really that crowd for me that actually pisses me off even more.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm not surprised by royal reporters. I mean, this has been going on for 2 years, like for more than 2 years now. So I'm not really surprised. It's the ones who basically are saying this is okay and this is just how it is, and those are the ones that really pissed me off. Can we talk about something? I would like to know, do you think that we're going to get how can I say this? Do you think that we're going to have, I mean, Meghan and Harry are going to present the baby for the public? Do you think we're going to have this?
I don't know. I mean, they're so private and probably really they're going to be really protective of their child. I mean, given the type of onslaught, and we talked about it earlier, this kid is going to be attacked. The kid has already been attacked. They've called the kid a rebel. They've made it seem like it's not Harry's child, and it's just, Meghan just conceived. She's Virgin Mary, and like, so I don't know. I mean, if I were them, I would not do this to my child. But I don't know what the rules are for them. I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know if the palace is going to make them do it just because, or what. I don't know. So
they're moving apparently to Frogmore Cottage in March. Is that March, April? When is it? Like
I
March?
don't know, because I don't believe anything that the royal reporters tell me.
Yeah.
I can only go by what KP says. KP said that they were going to move in before the birth of the baby.
Okay.
When that is, I don't know.
So they're going to move before the kid is born, basically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, because if they're going to move when that kid is before the kid is there, then maybe I don't think there's going to be a Lindo wing. Like my opinion is, I don't want them to present that baby. I don't want them. I don't want any of the press to cash in on that kid. I don't want. I swear, for me, I'm just being petty right now. I just don't want the press to cash in on that kid. I want Harry and Meghan to have that kid, and I don't even want to know about it. I just want to know when Meghan gave birth. Like Meghan and Harry left the hospital with the baby, and that's it. That's the only thing I want to hear. I don't want to hear everything before. And then the first picture should be, the picture of the baby. There's someone who posted the picture of
the foot.
Of the foot. Oh my God, it's hilarious. And they should do that. They should, like, leave that child alone, leave that baby alone. I really don't want the press to cash in on that kid. And here's one thing as well that I want to discuss. So last year we had the tour in Down Under, and which was great. And then you can definitely say, so during those 2 weeks, the press basically, how can I say this? They because that tour wasn't only in the British press, but also international press was there during the Australian tour, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Tonga. But British press basically played nice.
Nice, yeah. And they're playing nice right now.
Yeah. And as soon as that tour ended, the onslaught started again. And I think went a notch higher than it was, because they were already criticizing her before that tour. They stopped during the tour, and then they criticized her even more after that. A lot of stories, about the courtiers are saying this, the courtiers saying that, the royal swords, blah, blah, blah. We know this. Do you think we're going to hear the same shit now after this tour?
That's bound to happen. Let me tell you, let me give you an example of that, okay? So the magazine that started the hello to bullshit, fuck shit, just they have a freaking their front page. Meghan's £1 billion baby bonanza, plus inside her lavish New York party fit for a princess. What the fuck? £1 billion? How, Sway? How?
Wait. 1 billion? What in that?
Yes. You know what? I'm fucking sending this to you right now. I'm so great. I'm so angry. What the flying fuck?
This is why we're saying that. Okay, Tina is obviously getting pissed. Let me calm this down. So
I just sent it to you, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
That's the hello to bullshit people. And then this girl sat there and tried to get us to, like, she's talking about, it is the people online. It's the online trolls and megbots. But no, I'm going to write a headline that says Meghan's £1 billion baby bonanza. Who says this? Who does this?
Jesus. I'm telling you, that remember when we called that this hello to what is it? Hello to kindness. Anyway, so they made that stuff, and obviously they made it seem as if Kate get the same shit, which obviously she does not. That's the first thing for me that pissed me off, is the fact that they made it seem that Kate and Meghan equally receive criticism, which is not true. That's the first thing. The second thing that really pissed me off is that they made it seem as if it was the people on social media and not the press. That was the second thing that really pissed me off, because obviously it wasn't true. Yeah. And the thing is also is that, so there are, this is the hashtag that they created and all that stuff. And there is one editor, a Hello editor. She actually, I think she went private now. But I kind of looked at her likes. So basically the tweets that she was liking, and all the tweets were anti-Meghan. So for me, when we say that that this is hypocrisy, when it's hypocrisy, we're not kidding. So this is what I mean. When your public mindset is, and your public stance is, we are hello to kindness and we have to be nice on social media, and then when you look at their private accounts, and then you can see that they are actually anti-Meghan. And I don't even mean that you have to be pro-anti. She was actually liking something, a tweet basically saying that Meghan, like basically saying that she's mean to her dad, that's the tweet that she was liking. So this is when I'm telling you that I have an issue with this campaign, because it's being led by people who are actually contributing to that. And this obviously now, this headline, this cover is proof of that. So first it started with 200,000, and then it went to 300,000, then it went to 500,000, like half a million. And then now it's like 1 billion. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Seriously, people. Stop buying Hello magazine. If people are subscribed to it, stop your subscription. No more, I don't remember the name of the royal reporters of Hello. Stop following her.
I know her name. Do you want me to say it?
No. Okay. But if we know, If you guys know who that is, stop following her. Stop falling
And
for her
stop,
bullshit.
yeah, stop engaging her. This is the thing. Okay, let me. Oh, Tina, you can rein me in. I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in.
Wait a second, because I know what you're going to say. Let me say this, okay? I know what you're going to say. So let me just say, it's really, really, really hard not to engage with them. I'm telling you right now, it's really hard. Go ahead now.
I'm sick and tired of people who sit there and they're shouting to the wind and blah, blah, blah. And they sit there and they listen to this people's podcast and put money in their pocket at the same time, encouraging them, because every time you click on their shit, you listen to their shit, you engage with them, you're putting money in their pocket. And I'm not saying that you can't fight back for Meghan. There's nothing that says that you shouldn't do that. But what just kills me is that supporting the things that they're doing outside of Twitter, like their podcasts and all this other shit that they're doing, you're putting money in their pocket and you are enabling them to continue abusing the Duchess. Because everything you do by hate listening to their podcast, by commenting, by retweeting their pictures, like I saw people retweeting Rebecca English today. I'm going to have to edit that out. So,
basically what it is if you personally, for me, I don't actually click on anything anymore, and this is not something that I started a couple of weeks ago. I've been doing it for probably like more than a year now, a bit more than a year, I would say. I just stopped clicking on anything, because when you click, you give them money, it allows them to continue. So I just stop. When someone has been found to write fanfic or are extremely biased and very negative, I just don't click them on it anymore. I just stop. So just to do that, I don't follow any of them. I've blocked even some of them. I just stopped. I don't listen to their podcasts. Why? I'm telling you, we are two private citizen who don't have any connection to royal family, who don't have any inside source and all that stuff. We have just as much information as these supposed reporters have. They have nothing. I mean, if that article about the baby shower is the proof, I mean, just look at that. I could have pulled and written that same article. I could have written the same thing. She just assumed what a baby shower is about, and then she just wrote it, and that was it. And then obviously when everybody found out that the baby shower was the next day, everybody knew that she lied her through her teeth, and that was it. We know they're full of shit. Stop clicking, because you're just giving them money by clicking. You're allowing them to continue. Stop clicking. They don't have any information. And if you want them to change their way of reporting, we're the one who are making the money, so we have to kind of change our behavior. We have to stop talking about we have to stop clicking on their articles, stop clicking on everything that they're selling. Why do you think that there's so much podcasts that are created now from them? Those podcasts didn't exist a year like 2 years ago. Back in 2016, you had no podcast. You had no newsletters. You had no TV shows on YouTube or whatever. You didn't have that. It started now because they know how much money they can make off her. So they just continue to do that. And because the headlines are very dramatic and very scandalous, they just keep, they like it. They're like, oh my God, we can make money off this, and let's just do it. And people keep clicking on it. Stop clicking on it if you want the headline to change. I'm going to, so here we are, okay? After the tour in Down Under, we saw how because it was successful, how they made sure that everybody kind of forgot about it, even if we didn't, but they made sure that they start attacking Meghan's character. We have this tour now in Morocco. I'm going to sit back. Okay, so we're here It's Monday night for me.
Mm-hmm.
The tour was the last day of the tour was today. I mean, they're leaving tomorrow, but last tour is today. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to check how the headline are going to be this week. I'm just going to sit back and just look, if they start to hold attack again, I don't know if you heard this, but there is, oh gosh, I'm just pissed just thinking about it. There is something on its way. I think it's on Friday
Mm-hmm.
with the white trash that is on its way. I don't know if you heard about it.
I heard about it, but I try not to pay attention.
Okay. So
You can talk
basically,
about it. I'm not gonna.
no, I'm not gonna go in details. I'm just going to say this. So you already have that shit on its way. You already
Mm-hmm.
have that on its way. So this is, I think it's on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Is it on Friday or Thursday? I think
Oh,
it's Friday.
I know nothing about this. I've tried so you know how
I'm
you don't pay attention to the like royal reporters. I
yeah.
definitely don't pay attention to like that side of the internet.
No, I'm just saying that I'm just looking, and I'm going to sit back and just wait to check the headlines for the week now until Sunday. And you have already that shit on its way. I'm just going to sit back and see if they're going to do all that fuck shit they did after the tour in Down Under. If it's that, then you can definitely see that there is, and we know this, that there is an agenda against her from the press. We know this. They did, we had this tour. They stayed nice. And then yeah, we'll sit back and I'm just going to see how they're going to do, what they're going to do, So I'm telling you, this Friday bullshit that it's on its way. So you have that. So what they're trying to do, okay, this is what it is. They're trying to, because she's doing such a good job. I mean, she has been around like less than a year now. And she has already went to she had already 3 tours. We had one in Ireland, you had the one Down Under, you have the one here now. She's about to leave because she's, about to give birth. They like to make people forget about what she does, by putting the white trash on, highlight them, and also make stuff up about her personality when it's just insane, because you have so much interviews, and she's the only member of Royal Family that had a public figure before she became a member of Royal Family. So you have everything out there. You can go check, you can find it. So they like to highlight a lot of negative stuff to kind of hide the good that she does. She's the only member of a family who have been done to. So I'm just going to sit back and just wait and watch what the headlines are going to be this week. If they start to do, people, royal sources are saying that Meghan made, she fired 10 person today, and she made, the dog of the queen cry or whatever, you know what I mean? Or that shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just going to sit back and then just watch what, I wish they would leave this pregnant woman alone. And the fact that people are just telling them, stop it, we don't care, just leave her alone. The fact that people keep saying that to them, it isn't even clicking in their head that what they're doing is wrong, but they like to pretend that,
Well,
okay, let's move on. Yeah.
Well, one more thing that I wanted to say before we move on is, and this goes for all those fashion people who make money off of Meghan, because every time you click on anything that they link, it goes, if you look at it, it says shop style or restyle me, that means that they make money off of you clicking and buying stuff. I'm not saying don't buy stuff that Meghan wears, but look up the name from a different website and find it. And then that way, and they have a code, use the code so you can get a discount. I'm not trying to, take away your money, because most of these people will sit there and let her get beat down in the press, but they would never support her. They would never back her up. And
yes,
they're making serious money off of her. They're making a lot of money off of the Duchess. And I'm not, I'm not trying to get in anybody's money, but I'm just saying that, there are principles there. You can't sit there and make money off of somebody, but then when it's time to back them up, there's probably only one blog that really says something. Other than that, all those fashion blogs don't say a thing. They don't say a word. They would just sit there, write the fans, and, oh, we like both duchesses. And that's fine. It's okay to like both duchesses. But it's also not okay for you to not speak up when somebody's been abused, somebody that you make money off of, because we know that you're not making money off of the other person.
The funny part about, there's one blog who never spoke up about the abuse that Meghan is getting. Never once. She never, I don't know how many people work on that blog, but they never did.
Mm-hmm.
And then George Clooney said something, and then they wrote a post, and they were like, oh my God, they basically talked about it, the
Mm-hmm.
racial, yeah, I mean, I was reading that post, and I was literally said to myself, they stayed oblivious to it for, I don't know how long that blog exists. It's probably like 2-3 years now. They stayed oblivious to it until a white dude, a privileged white guy, basically said, hey, stop, Until then, the fact that people who are non-white kept telling them stop. I mean, they've been interviewed by a tabloid who keeps attacking Meghan, who wrote, the Straight Outta Compton article.
Mm-hmm.
They are interviewed by them. They go and give headlines and quotes and all that stuff to that tabloid.
And
So
they also give them all this made up numbers about
I
her,
know.
how much spending, when it's like they will count stuff that she had before she was a royal into the tally of how much she's spending, and it doesn't make any sense. They don't even consider how much engagement she's had compared to how much clothes she wears compared to what she already had and she's still wearing from before she was a royal. So
And yeah, so this is what I'm telling you, is that until George Clooney brought that up, they basically kept their mouth shut. I mean, I'm telling you, they're probably gonna start like an Amal stuff soon,
Mm-hmm.
on the Amal blog or whatever. This is what they do. They like to. I think they're two white girls. I think they're two white women. Very completely oblivious until a rich white guy told them, hey, actually it is. And they're like, oh my God, oh yeah, now that it is. And so they started to they only did, I think, one post where they called it out. And gosh, this is for me the main issue that I have with these blogs. People keep saying that they're being attacked and all that stuff. I don't care. Listen to me. I don't care that you're making money off of her. I don't care. You want to make money, go ahead. I think it's amazing that people are, some people want to know what the women are wearing, and you want to buy the same stuff. And I'm like, go ahead, good for you. The issue that I have is when you are willing to make money off somebody, and then when that same person is being attacked, you are not only sometimes staying quiet, but you are actually contributing to it by being interviewed by those same tabloids who attack her. This is the issue that I have. You want to make money, I don't care. It's good. But if you keep your mouth shut, every time that person that you're supposedly fan of, to the point where you actually make a blog to, because you like her and you like what she's about, but then stay oblivious of the racial criticism, the abuse that she's getting. I mean, can you blame us for being pissed? Can you blame the people who like her for being pissed? This is the issue that I have, is being privileged to pretend that it doesn't exist. For some of us, it does exist, and what Meghan is facing, things that we actually face as well. So I look at it and I'm like, I understand what Meghan is going through, because I go through this shit when I'm at work as well. So the whole.
The thing that kills me is that when a white person tells you that it's not racism, and it's like, you don't know what racism is unless you're a person of color. You don't know what racism is, because racism to you is totally different than
Yeah.
racism. And the problem is no one wants to, I've had somebody say, well, because there were things like that, we see it every day. It happens to in our workplaces or whatever, and people be like, well, I don't think he or she was being racist. I'm like, no. When you basically single out one person of color and treat them a certain way, and then you like, well, I don't think it's race, then what is it? Because when you
Yeah.
like like, come on.
It's like when they always say, I don't like Meghan. I
I
don't
don't
know
know
why.
what it
I
is. I
can't
can't put my finger on
explain.
it.
And yeah, when they always say something, and I'm like, are you? We know,
She's
we know.
brown.
Stop playing. Stop pretending you're stupid. I mean, you're stupid. That's not a pretend, but stop playing. We know what it's about. Whenever I swear to God, they always say this stuff that I've seen it so much. I don't know what. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on why. I just don't trust her, and all that stuff. And I mean, I was like, and we're like, yeah. We know. I can put my finger on it. I know what it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
yeah, so basically, as I've said, we're going
stop
to, yeah,
enabling the abuse.
yes,
Stop
yes,
enabling the bullying. Stop clicking on the shit. Stop putting money in the pockets of the people who you're fighting with every day and screaming into, like, almost like you're screaming into a thin air with. And then
yeah.
you'll go in,
You can
yeah.
screenshot their articles. I mean, I loved that screenshot article of the fanfic baby shower. That was great. So you can actually screenshot and put it for everybody to see, but I think it should be like one person. Stop clicking on them, please.
And
Yeah.
even after that screenshot, even the screenshot of that, this person then went around and found everybody that screenshot and then went through the people who liked the screenshot and blocked everybody. So this person probably spent days, because there were hundreds of people who liked and commented. This person went around, searched their names, found, or figure out what fans were saying, and then searched through. And mind you, the article wasn't even linked, and she blocked people
No,
because
no, no. No. What she did was someone tweeted, someone tweeted about the tour, and she basically had a drawing. I don't know if you saw. I think you saw it. Someone basically made a post of showing like planes going to a direction.
yeah.
And then basically commented that the one plane going into another direction, basically saying that she already knows what the tour is about, and she's going to write a headline before even tour happens, and because that's what she is, she just makes stuff up. So she looked at the people who liked that tweet, and then she went on blocking spree. She basically blocked everyone who blocked. I mean, I've been blocked long ago. I've been blocked long ago by that person. But yeah, this is really what it's about. It's like reporters who are exposed to be frauds. They
But
don't
people
like
still
to.
her podcast. I don't understand why. She gaslight you guys on her podcast because she knows that puts money in her pocket.
They always do that. If you look, actually, this is something that I always notice as well, is that there is a different, they are completely different when they're on TV than when they're writing their articles. They're completely different. So when I see many reporters, when they get to, no, I mean, a lot of them, yeah, you can definitely sense that they have a different, they can't quite, because their face is known, like you can see them, they try to play fair, and they try to they keep their shady comments for themselves. And when they're writing their articles, then obviously you can sense the hatred on it. So there's a different personality. So obviously on her podcast, she's not gonna be as shady as when she's when she's writing an article.
Yeah.
But so this is why I've actually I'm going to be honest, I think I probably listened to that podcast maybe that was enough. And this was, I think, I don't even remember when they started it, but it was, I think, was it before the wedding? I think it was before the wedding. That was it. That I just needed that once, and I couldn't click on it knowing who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing who she, I couldn't click on it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, seriously, no. So I don't know. So let's end this thing on a good good note. I don't know.
Well, the Duchess and the Duke, they had an amazing trip to Morocco. It was a beautiful trip. We did a podcast marathon, and that's a good note because we've never done that before. I mean, we only had like 3 episodes before we did this. It was great.
Yeah.
They met a lot of amazing people. There's people, we shouted out one of the people that she met yesterday, actually, and I and that person have chatted on Twitter and IG, and this 15-year-old girl is so happy that she met the Duchess. And so I've been talking to her and just, encouraging her and everything. So it's been great. This trip, for all intents purposes, has been successful. It's been meaningful. And the fact that they sent those two there means a lot. The ambassador said nothing but great things. I think Meghan touched a lot of lives. So regardless of whatever these people are going to write, starting tomorrow and onwards, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They've done an amazing job. And
go ahead. They did a good job. I love how Meghan blends into, when they have a picture, you can sense that she's a natural, and I think this is why reporters like to highlight other things rather than her work, because she's so good at the work. She's very engaging, very with the people. And Harry is like that. And Harry knew that about her. He knew, this is why, he knew that they would be a great team. This is what he said on at the engagement interview. He knew it. So when you actually look at it, they like to highlight other things because what she does is actually great. And I think this is why she's great. It's very much, this is what she was born to do in a way. So it's really nice to see that.
Yeah, and this trip syncs in line with who she is. So, all the charities that she's been about, when she went to Rwanda, when she went to India, this is all the things that she's always been about. And this is also up the alley of Prince Harry, including sports and also just improving the lives of people who might be at a disadvantage and with a disability. And also, we didn't even talk about the young entrepreneur stuff, but they also met a lot of young entrepreneurs and highlighted a lot of the things that these young entrepreneurs are doing in Morocco. And I can't wait to see. Apparently, for the girls' boarding school, there's already a crowdfunding for a movie to be made about that stuff because of the Duchess and Duke being there. So there's a filmmaker who's going to start crowdfunding to try to make a movie about that boarding school so they can get funding. So that's a good thing. So if you guys see the crowdfunding, please donate to it. Part of what we're going to start doing with this podcast, and I need to talk it out a little bit more with Michelle, is that we want to start donating in the name of the Sussexsquad to charities that the Duke and Duchess support. So, I donate personally, but I'm going to start donating on behalf of the podcast, on behalf of the fans, to charities that they support. So that's something that will come down the line. So this is a great trip. This is good. Everyone that was highlighted on this trip, this is a good thing. Hopefully their lives will be better or be improved, not better, but like improved in terms of they get something out of it. They're inspired. That 15-year-old girl that I talked about yesterday, she's energized. She's happy. She wants to study English. She wants to make sure that she gets to school somewhere in the Western world. So that's good. That's a good thing. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah. I also wanted to finish in actually in positive light. I don't know if you saw the Oscars yesterday.
Yeah. Yes.
The winner of the documentary short subject was about menstrual equity in India, which is the documentary is called Period End of Sentence, and it's been directed by two women. One's called Reika Zeh. Oh my God, I don't want to say in a bad way.
Yeah.
Zehtabshi and Melissa Burton. So I won Oscar for that, and which is amazing because this is obviously recall to what Meghan, the engagement, the charity that Meghan visited, which is like, I think it's Mina, was it? Which
I
is
don't know.
no the engagement that
The
Meghan
charity.
had the charity that Meghan had back in before she married actually into the family.
Yeah, I can never pronounce the name of it, but I tried yesterday. So
So yeah, that was actually good. So it's amazing actually. It's not only an issue obviously in India. It's an issue actually as well in the country that I'm from. So yeah, it's amazing really to have that kind of support. Really, it's actually it's a tough subject because I remember when Meghan visited last year. Was it last year? It was 2017. No, 2017 it was.
2017,
Yes.
yeah.
So when she visited back in 2017, you had people who were like shocked and like, this is a shocking subject matter. It is not, and we have to highlight those issues because to allow girls to go to school the whole month, not to have to stay back for a couple of days and then ended up quitting school and being able to get an education. It's a setback, to a lot of young girls. So to have this charity being highlighted by Meghan, to have this documentary being, people need to check this documentary. And if we can have, I'm going to look for it so I can watch it. But it's really nice
I've
to
seen
have
it.
it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It should
I'm
be.
going to.
Do you have Netflix?
I do have Netflix, but I think it's on Netflix US. I don't think it's on my Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to look for it, but I don't think it's on mine, which is sad, but
Okay.
I'm going to look for it anyway. Yeah, but people need to check it out, and I'm glad that she took this. It's not an easy subject matter, obviously, but this is how it should be. Nothing should be easy. Everything should be. You need to highlight subject matter that people feel are taboo. You have to talk about everything. Yeah, so it shouldn't be only about easy about about children and dogs. It should be about tough subject matter. Yeah.
Well, also, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. That documentary is really, like, if you're in the US, try to find it on Netflix. It's a really good documentary, and it is a positive thing. And as women and men, because there's some men who listen to this podcast, a lot of them have reached out to me to let me know that it's not just women who support Duchess. And I do agree there's a diverse group of people, but knowing how we can improve people's lives if we can, and that's what the Duchess and Duke are about. So I'll definitely be making sure that I make a concerted effort to pay attention to organizations that will help more young girls go to school, because like the movie said, a period should end a sentence, not a woman's education. So that's all I'm going to.
Yes. So.
All righty. Well, this is a long episode. I'm sorry, guys, but let's close it out. All right. So that's all we have for today, guys. And please don't forget to send us some topics to cover for the next podcast. Remember, #Sussexsquad podcast. Email us at hello@sussexsquad.com or DM us on Twitter @SussexPodcast.
So, yes, guys, thanks for joining us for this episode, the Sussex Squad podcast. We sincerely hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. And please don't forget to send letters to Harry and Meghan using #Sussexsquad letters on envelope and in letters. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, because believe me, guys, those are really matter. They do, guys. Do it.
And we've been getting a lot of really, really amazing reviews, and thank you. I can't say thank you enough. I mean, I actually wanted to point this out. So this morning, we were both humbled when we woke up this morning and we saw that we have listeners from over 61 countries around the world. Thank you, guys. I mean, I actually cried a little. I I messaged Michelle and told her like, tears.
I was pretty shocked because there's so many different countries, and I was really surprised because of course I knew some, but oh my god, like Costa Rica, like it was, oh my god, like so many different places.
Iceland. We have
Iceland,
people
yeah.
listen to Iceland. Like I love Iceland. It's one of my favorite countries in the world, and I've been there multiple times. But I just didn't expect anyone to be listening to my little weird voice in Iceland.
I know.
So
We have people from yeah, like everywhere, like
yeah,
Brazil,
Kenya, yeah, Canada,
Philippines. Yeah. Oh my God. Guys,
Trinidad and Tobago,
Nigeria,
Taiwan,
if you have people from Nigeria listening, hi guys.
Ghana.
Yeah, the African people listening, hello.
South Africa is representing for Africa. So that's good. And we have people in Somalia listening. Thanks
Amazing.
for listening. Yeah, this is amazing. We
Oh
have
my
people
God,
from,
I didn't see so much. Oh my God, that's amazing.
yeah, Somalia is in the house. We have Madagascar. We have people in Russia. We have people in our New Zealand friends. Thank you. Australia. Thank you. I
We
mean,
have so
so
many Southern America as well. We have like Paraguay. Come on, Paraguay.
yeah,
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, there's so many all over. Like we have Jamaica. Jamaica is in the house,
Oh
guys.
my
Like
God.
they are, and for the Caribbean, they are the most listeners that we have in the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago is right behind it. So yeah, please keep sharing. Please keep talking about this podcast, and we'll keep bringing you stuff. And we're gonna spend some time. We're gonna take a little bit of break because this has been a lot of work to put out 4 podcasts in 4 days. So we're going to take maybe about 5 or 6 day break. I need to spend time, Michelle and I, sit down and come out with a better outline and how we're going to flow for this
Yes.
podcast. So, and also what we're going to do while the Duchess is on maternity leave. So we'll talk about that. And then don't forget, I mentioned that we're going to start a giveaway for the next podcast. We're going to announce a giveaway. I still have to talk to Michelle about how we're going to do it, but
Yeah.
there'll be a giveaway. I have 6 books to give you guys. So,
Okay.
all right, guys. Remember, as the Duchess will always say, no bad energy.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.